Earth family, so I just want to talk about changing the world. Straight up changing the world. That is what's on my heart. That is what God has put in my heart for so many years. I've been just building up myself because I know that God has gifted me and given me a purpose to impact and empower the world, and I'm just trying to do that. I just want to use this gift wisely and pour it out whilst I still have the time to do so, because I'm conscious of time. I'm conscious that I haven't got an eternity on planet Earth, and I have to use every opportunity for good and to just unleash that purpose that God has put inside of me. I have the intention of changing the world and bringing about a positive change on this earth. That is not a secret, guys. On my bio on Instagram, it literally says we're changing the world, because that is my focus. That is my desire, to see this world look different. And I don't mean just one continent, one country. That's not enough. The whole entire earth needs to be sparkling. The whole entire earth needs to be looking sweet. The whole entire earth needs to be just walking in greatness. Every individual, not just, half the world. I'm not looking to impact just a quarter or a certain percentage and feel like, oh, I did my bit. I want to impact every single soul, every single human being. That's when I've done my bit. If there is still someone who's left, who's not been impacted, who's not been helped, whose quality of life is less than the rest of the population, then my job is not done. Our job is not done. We are here as a family to impact and empower each other. And there's so much that we have inside of us that we haven't even unleashed or even explored or even found out, that if we knew the potential in us, we would not be sitting around thinking, when is life going to change? We would realize we are the change. Life will only change as soon as we step up, as soon as we realize, listen, I'm here, I've got the answers, I've got the solutions inside of me. So guys, I would say I'm quite simplistic as an individual. I just sort of see things quite logically sometimes, I'd say, and I just get things done. I carry that simplistic mindset in pretty much most areas of my life, and I apply this in the way I think of changing the world as well, because I just feel like, oh my gosh, I carry that simplistic mindset in pretty much most areas of my life, and I apply this in the way I think of changing the world as well, because I just feel like, oh my gosh, that's so funny, because I was just looking and it says simple. Let's just make things simple. Yeah. Changing the world, we think of it as this big, dramatic, unachievable thing. We even ask, like, will the world ever get better? I don't think so. We're losing hope about it, thinking it's some unlikely thing. And I just don't see it like that, guys. I'm going to be honest. I see better days. I genuinely see better days. Why? Number one, because of my faith. When you fill yourself up with faith, over fear, over worry and doubt, your perception begins to see and perceive solutions. So number one, step one, guys, I want you to focus on your mindset. Focus on changing the way you see things. Focus on building your faith so that you can actually begin to perceive, wait, hold on, there's actually a solution to these problems. We look at wars and we think, oh no, it's never going to change. Why can it not change? I don't get it. Why could it not change? If there's poverty, why is that impossible? If there is a part of the population who are living without war and poverty, then clearly it's something that can be stopped, something that can be eradicated. It's not an impossible situation that is stuck, that is going to be the same case for centuries and decades. So if segregation between white and black people was happening in America and it's not happening anymore, why can't we solve the problems of today? Why do we think that we're stuck? Why do we think that we have to wait and just hope for change? If the world changes before us set a foundation for us to build on, why are we not carrying out in this generation and building upon that foundation? Martin Luther King right now would look at us and laugh and say, hold on, I did X, Y, and Z. All the resources, the social media and all these things you have, you lot are just waiting on your bum.
Sorry, that was rude.
You're sitting on your bums, complaining. And he has the right to laugh. If he went out and did what he did and changed society, he can laugh, because really and truly we have no excuse. He had so much stuff against him at that time and so little resources compared to us. And before that, people before him, There are so many world changers that have shown us how it's done. And with all the things we have in front of us, nah, you can still make an impact with no arms and no legs. Nick V, I'm not going to say his last name because I don't know how to pronounce it, but you know who I'm talking about. I'll show you a picture, guys, right here. This guy has been motivational speaking, spreading the love of Jesus Christ all over the world. He survived a suicide attempt when he was 10 years old, I believe. Because that's the thing. There was still a purpose for him. It wasn't his time yet. And it's still your time because you're still here and alive. And with all the advantages around you, it's time to take a hold of what you've got and use it to create a shift and a change and an impact on earth. And I'm doing the same. I'm not being a hypocrite. I prayed to Jesus yesterday, God, please help me to do what I preach, because I don't want to be a hypocrite for the earth family. I don't want to disappoint them, God. These guys, we have a relationship. I have a relationship with my earth family. They trust me. And I don't want to let them down. I don't want to be a leader who does the opposite and then contradicts everything that I say, and then you guys lose hope again in another leader. No, I'm not that leader that is going to disappoint you. Guys, I've got you. Why? Because God is the one I look up to every single day. And I've said to God, please, if I do not seek you, then don't allow me to speak into the lives of people. I've asked God for that barrier because I don't want to do anything to jeopardize you guys' lives through my leadership. I know you guys have heard the cute quotes. I know you guys have heard so much positive quotes. And I don't want my words to go in one ear and out the other. I hope it goes through both ears and into your mind and transforms your sight. So that when your sight is transformed, you begin to operate according to a shifted and changed and transformed mindset and worldview. Because I had to do that for myself. I used to see myself as just this little tiny inferior little person that nobody loves, nobody likes, ugly, all these negative things. I was so anxious. I thought my place in this world was to just be small. And God took me on a journey of mental transformation, renewing my mind. And that is what He's impacted me to do. So He's impacted me in that way so that I can impact you. And therefore, as we build our self-image, as we build our worldview to be accurate and in line to the truth, we begin to understand our position on earth as it actually is. Because right now, the way you see yourself is not necessarily what is actually true. Because you would probably tell me back then, no, Gamu, you're not small, you're not inferior. Because that's the thing. Sometimes we need someone outside of ourselves to tell us the reality, the truth that we don't yet see. And guys, I'm trying to bring you out of that. I'm trying to be a light and pull you out of that darkness in your thinking, so that you can see light. And knowledge is literally light. Knowledge and understanding and wisdom is light for the mind. That light transforms our sight. And think about it. Without our sight, we cannot have a vision. And the more your mindset shifts, the more your vision becomes clear. The more your vision becomes clear. And guys, I want you to transform the world with your visions. Because the thing is, I love God because He has actually created you with a vision that will probably even change my life and I don't even know it while I'm speaking to you. Think about that. I don't even know what God has put in you, but God is just literally speaking to me and telling me to encourage you, because that's a sign from God literally directly to you to say, listen, my child, I've got plans for you that you don't even know about. Wow. Oh my gosh, God. But yeah, changing the world is a very simple process. We need to transform our families, because families are where every other institution follows from. And if our families are broken, do you not think our workplaces will be broken? Then the government, whoever is running that, if they come from a broken family where there's been hurt and no healing since, they're going to be impacting the world from a broken place. And then economically, that's another area where without God, without wisdom, we cannot make wise decisions financially, building our wealth, building the education system. Oh my goodness, if our teachers are insecure, how are they going to lead the students to be secure? I can't just run in and try change things because we're just going to copy the previous leaders that didn't succeed. Somehow we need to change our strategy. Somehow we need to change our way of doing things. Clearly something is not working. And I'm seeking Jesus Christ because in the beginning, he had a perfect world until mankind tried to go ahead of God's mindset. Eve, she already knew what God had designed, what God had said, the structure, the instruction. But she went and did her own thing for a split second, and it caused us to suffer the consequences. And we need to go back to that place in the garden. We need to go back to that place where Adam and Eve were by the tree and say, Jesus, forgive us. Let's start again, Lord. Let's do this thing. Let's rebuild on your foundation, your way, God. We listen to your instructions. We don't listen to doubt. We're not swayed by the enemy. We are literally focused on listening to your voice, Lord God. We want to know what you want us to do, and we're willing to go at your pace and be patient and hear from you, Lord Jesus. Yeah. That's it from me today, guys. I hope this empowered and impacted you. Let's change the world.